All right, welcome to this Tuesday edition of In Transit. Now, is an extended car warranty worth the cost? With your car's factory warranty set to expire soon, it's a question many drivers face. Should you invest in extra coverage, or is it better to roll the dice? Today, we're talking with George Eny, director of the Automobile Protection Association, to discuss the pros and cons, explain common issues, and help you decide if extended warranties really deliver when it counts. George, welcome back to the program.
Nice to be back.
So how do you tackle this question? And I don't know if it varies on the car model and the condition of the car and that kind of thing, but when you're asked this question, how do you tackle it?
It does vary on the car model. So your decision to purchase a warranty is somewhat dependent on what you're driving, obviously if you plan to keep it, and also on the warranty itself, because the warranties vary a great deal. So let's roll back to the beginning where you posited the question where you're driving either a new vehicle, so you're buying a car maker extended warranty, and what's the decision you have to make. So if it's a reliable car, I would say like a Honda or a Toyota, in most cases you probably don't need to buy the extra coverage. If you're driving a model that costs more to repair, maybe has more electronic problems, I'm thinking of VW, for example, BMW, a complicated vehicle, a vehicle with a diesel engine, which they're not too reliable, even in the pickup trucks. So in that case, there is a good reason to purchase an extended warranty, and it won't be cheap. You're looking at, in many cases, between $2,500 and $4,000 if you want to add 2 or 3 years of coverage.
And that's the thing, right? So when I look at the cost, right, part of me says, okay, well, when I'm offered the opportunity to buy an extended warranty, why not just pocket that money, the $3,000, whatever it is, set it in a savings account, and, if something comes up in the future, I've got that money saved up. What would you say to that?
Makes sense. If you're driving a simple car or a reliable vehicle, absolutely. Or if you never see the dealer for service. But if you're in the habit of doing dealer maintenance on your vehicle, or you have a more complicated vehicle, the car maker extended warranty can offer good value, and it gives you some predictability. So there's an argument in favor of it. A lot of times people think, well, the engine could blow, or the engine might not blow, or whatever, and that's really the focus. But on a modern car, that's not where we see the more problematic failures. It's often the electronics. So the touchscreen, if it's covered under the extended warranty, that's a big plus. Electronic components, air conditioning, if it needs a repair, that's typically over $1,000 these days. So those are the components where we see more vulnerability, and where you would have you get value from what's called a full coverage extended warranty. It costs a little more, but it's worth the premium. Again, we're talking about a manufacturer plan. If you're buying a used car, the dealer, which it could be an independent dealer or a franchise dealer, may also offer you an extra cost warranty.
And on those, right, that's different from getting one from the manufacturer, right? So let's talk about those extended warranties and the perils there.
Well, aftermarket warranties are much trickier. The independent ones frequently have claim limits. Now, you never see that when you're buying, let's say, 2 years of powertrain coverage. The dealer's offering you that. They don't tell you that somewhere buried in the fine print, the paperwork you get before you sign, the pamphlets, the posted materials don't tell you that there's claim limits, most likely, and in some cases they're ridiculously low, $5,000. That doesn't pay for one major engine repair on a modern vehicle. And we'll see people who will buy used BMW. They know it's more trouble than a regular car. They want something a little bit nicer to drive. And so that for peace of mind, the dealer sells them a warranty, but the dealer doesn't tell them the claim limit's $5,000 when they have a $12,000 engine repair.
Oh boy. And that's, and I was thinking about that too, right? Like, okay, sometimes you buy these warranties and then you have trouble getting them honored, right? And so there's one way, right? There's a hard cap, a limit. The repair's $12,000, but the warranty says we'll only pay for $5,000. Do you find it's difficult to get these warranties honored, or do they always find some sort of way to wiggle out of covering you?
I wouldn't say always. I think the companies can show us when we look that they pay out quite a lot of claims. It varies depending on the company, and that information, unfortunately, is hard to come by. Even among new car makers, we have, on the basic warranty, we have companies that are incredibly cheap, or they look for sneaky ways to get out of coverage. Nissan will ask you for the records of the previous owner. That's illegal in Quebec, and how on earth would you have them? But they still ask for them, and in the past, they've routinely used that excuse to deny coverage to somebody who's a second owner. Kia, they'll ask you for an oil change, in some cases 20 oil changes going back like since the vehicle was brand new. And it could even be for a repair that has no relationship with oil per se.
Jeez.
It's a manufacturing problem with the engine that isn't related to oil sensitivity. It's related to a bad engine. And notwithstanding, they may ask you for the evidence. So that depends. The one piece of guidance we would give you is, at the very least, do your oil changes on schedule, actually more often than the schedule. If there's 2 intervals, use the severe usage one. So let's say twice a year, not less than that. And at 8 to 10,000 kilometers, not more than that. It's probably prudent. Keep your records of those changes, because those could be asked for if you have a large repair coming forward.
Let me read you a couple of text messages here. I guess one bad story, one good story here. So I have a Glenn who writes me, warranty? What warranty? I have a Jeep Wrangler 2021 that's rusting everywhere with a dealer that acknowledges there's a problem. I'm having trouble getting it fixed. And then this is from a listener about a warranty extension. And a listener writes this: I bought a platinum warranty extension from Toyota with my new car, about $2,000, 8-year, 200,000 kilometers. Touchscreen, developed a small dead spot. After the new car warranty, dealer ordered, installed brand new screen, gave me a loaner car at no cost. So it worked out over there. You mentioned that texter with the Jeep, right?
Well, I would add Jeep and Ram, and Chrysler to the list of car makers who are cheap on warranty claims. And Chrysler's Jeep and Ram actually also penalize their dealers. They often don't pay them for part of the work they have to do to fix problems. So the owner of the vehicle gets squeezed. Corrosion warranties, VW also, they offer a very long corrosion warranty, but they don't administer it very fairly. So we have many complaints on Volkswagen products that rust, and people think they have 12 years of coverage, but they're fighting to get the repairs.
George, what about electric cars and the batteries? One of the reasons we did this segment, I got a message from someone who had a Tesla that was going to be ending the 4-year main warranty. What do you say to someone if they've got an electric car and they're worried about, battery replacements, that kind of thing?
You're right. You should be worried. We don't know. It's like in some cases, if you're going to need a completely brand new battery module because there isn't anything available used or in the aftermarket, you could be looking at the price of your vehicle. Literally, a Kia or Hyundai, some models, the battery pack is $40,000.
Jeez,
it's stupid money. I mean, eventually the aftermarket will develop a solution. Most of the extended warranties do not cover battery wear out. That's considered normal wear and tear. So in some cases, I mean, if you're smart and you can look at the fine print, if the wear goes past 30 or 40%, a bit like when your iPhone, sinks below 80%, and it's time to change the battery, in some cases, you may have coverage for replacement, but you will still hit the claim limit, and in the aftermarket, often the battery is excluded. So that's something tricky. Ideally, before you buy a used vehicle, you would be able to see a specialist who would examine the vehicle and interrogate it on board to see what the battery health is like. Now, that would at least give you an indication, although it's not a foolproof completely.
Are electric car manufacturers providing, most of them provide a longer warranty on the battery, right? Tesla, I think, is 8 years, 160,000 kilometers. But do other manufacturers do the same thing, at least for the battery, extend the warranty beyond that 4-year limited warranty?
That's right. So Tesla and Nissan, who were early in the game with EVs, and Toyota with their hybrids, provide an extra long warranty on the batteries, which the industry has now copied, so that people would be secure in their purchase. But extra long, eventually you do get to 8 years or 160,000 K, and your car isn't a throwaway product. So you still need coverage after that if you can get it. What I will say is that in all the cases of those warranties, they do allow up to a 30% or more battery wear down.
Yeah, so the degradation can be there to some extent. I'll leave you with one text message here from a listener. I extended the warranty on my BMW M4, And the first post-warranty claim was for $16,000 for a differential and an ignition coil pack in the engine, which as well as 2 ball joints, all of which were covered. So this person's...
Bravo. So that's why we said if you're driving a BMW, you probably want that warranty. All those repairs, by the way, the 3 that are listed are recurrent. So they're not uncommon for that model. The differential issue is often related to a loss of lubricant. It doesn't hold very much lubricant, and sometimes you can lose it, and that causes a differential to fail.
George, you're always such a tremendous resource. I'll direct everyone over to the Automobile Protection Association, where they can reach out for insight and help. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
That's George Eny, director of the APA.